I work with some of the biggest brand owners in the world. I also have my own brands, and I also know how these millionaires act. I found exactly what skills people need to succeed and prevent them from failing over and over again. You'll hear some business owners talk about how they spend years and maybe decades failing and trying over and over again. And then others seem like they made it very quickly. So in this video, we'll go over the 7 most important skills that I've seen all of these successful business owners have. And the ones without it seem to just never succeed. Before I get into that, I'm Chris. I've spent 20 years in wholesale cannabis, and I've held one of California's early distribution licenses. I've also built and sold a licensed grow, and I launched 2 licensed brands into over 100 licensed retail stores here in California. Now I teach founders how to launch and scale cannabis brands legally without needing a license, and doing this faster, smarter, and with fewer costly mistakes. Something to keep in mind, according to JP Morgan, only 9% of businesses will ever reach $1 million per year. So that means most don't. And not because they can't, but because they never master execution, strategy, or discipline. And I'm not here to guarantee that you're gonna be in the 9%. I'm only here to give you the blueprint. And whether you use it or waste it, it's all on you. We also go over this daily inside my Telegram and on my school community, and the links are below in the description. Always remember that skills and mindset are not optional. If you're trying to take your brand into real licensed stores and avoid lawsuits and build your team and actually scale, there's a checklist and there's a strategy to follow. So let's go through it all on this video. The first one is responsibility. You need to be responsible for everything. Every deal that goes bad, every unpaid invoice, any missed drops, any mistakes, it's always your fault. Even if it wasn't entirely your fault, it's still your problem, and you can still trace it back to something you did, a thought, an action, something where you can identify how you are at fault. And when you take full ownership of the outcome, you get full control of the result. So what this does by taking full responsibility is it mentally allows you to understand that it's in your control. And by putting it out as someone else's fault, it means that it's not in your control. And if it's not in your control, it means you can't change it. And if you can't change it, it means you're just affected by it. And if you're just affected by it, your shit's not gonna succeed, basically. So you need to take full control for everything that happens. And that could be if it's an employee messed up. Well, it's your fault for hiring that employee, or it's your fault for not training that employee, or it's your fault for not giving that employee the proper resources. You're probably thinking if a law changes, it's not your fault. Yes, it is, because you didn't plan for that law to change. I've spoken to a lot of people on these one-on-one calls, and they don't care about getting into the licensed cannabis market. They're just caring about getting into the THCA market. And we all saw what just happened with that. And on all these calls, all throughout 2024, 2025, I'm telling people it's an easy entry point to get in the THCA market, but it's also gonna be easy to be taken away, and they could shut that down overnight. So the best approach is to be in the licensed cannabis market as well as the THCA market. Hedge your bets, capitalize on both. But too many of you are focusing only on the THCA market because it's so easy. But once that law goes away, and we already saw that disappeared overnight, basically, that's your fault. That's your fault for not hedging your bet. That's your fault for relying too heavily on what seems too good to be true. So take full responsibility for everything, and there's always a way that you can look at it to understand how it's your fault. And if you ever find yourself passing blame, work it backwards and figure out where you can actually blame yourself. And that's the trick to taking full responsibility. Number 2 is resourcefulness. This can be part of any aspect of running a business. You don't like the supplier, find another. Your label printer messed up, fix it before it snowballs out of control. an influencer backed out of a deal, you find someone else. And I learned this growing up working in restaurants. I worked under the chef, an executive chef named Michael Lander. And his motto in the kitchen was, there's always a second way. And I've embodied that my whole life since then. I was 17, I believe, when I was working under him. And that was the thing. There's always a second way. There's always a second way to cook something. There's always a second way to cut something. There's always a second tool you can use. There's always something different you can use. So don't think that if something falls apart or something isn't working or you hit a roadblock, that now it's all over. Because there's always a second way. And you truly got to embody this mindset and understand that there's never one thing that's going to impede what it is your objective is. And it's on you. This is what resourcefulness means, is to find that second way. Figure it out, make it happen, put it together, pull something out of your sleeve. Whatever the expression is, be resourceful. And be resourceful without cutting corners or doing things unethically. And believe me, it may be hard to think of in the moment, especially if you're stressed out or under pressure, but I guarantee you there's always a second way. And another way to look at that is the founder or business operator who always comes with excuses is only going to get replaced by the founders and business owners who come with answers. So be the one to come with answers. Number 3 is leadership skills. And you don't need to have a huge team to be a leader. You need vision, you need communication, and you need clarity. Whether it's designers, trimmers, drivers, packaging people, brand ambassadors, the brand needs you to lead from the front. And knowing when to promote people and when to cut them out is also a big part of that. So develop your leadership skills, constantly learn, constantly grow, and that's going to be a big part of successful business in any field. Number 3 is anger management. And the cannabis industry is filled with chaos, whether that be from robberies, bad harvests, retailers not paying on time, somebody stealing your concepts, your designs, people quitting, people not showing up on time. If you blow up every time that you face a challenge, you're going to burn every bridge that you need to scale. So understand that anger management, if someone messes up or screws you over, you need to learn to keep a straight face and make the rational choice. And this is important in anything in life, because if you let someone else affect you and change the way you act, you're giving them the control. You're giving them the power. So I have a tattoo of Marcus Aurelius on my arm here, and you can't really see it, but it says Memento Mori right here, because my watch in front of it. But look up Marcus Aurelius, look up his philosophies. If you can, read the book Meditations. And what Memento Mori means is that we all die one day. And when you operate from that point of view, when you keep that in the back of your mind, it means that the worst thing that can happen is we're all going to die. So anything below that is irrelevant. And that's why when problems happen, when bad situations that you feel like are out of your control, things that you didn't want to have happen, you can't get mad at that. You can't blow up about that. Embrace a stoic mindset. And what that truly means to do is don't let the wins and the ups get you overly excited, and don't let the setbacks and the downs get you upset, angry, and mad. Go travel that middle line. It's a Buddhist term. Walk the middle line. And again, don't let the wins overwhelm you, and don't let the losses overwhelm you either. Stay neutral. And it's a huge hack. It's a huge win in anything in business, really just anything in life. Number 4 is to always maintain a positive mental attitude. And I repeat, this is not a cliche. Having a positive mental attitude relates to that previous point of anger management. You want to trick yourself into enjoying everything. Every struggle is just God making you stronger. Optimism is going to keep everything going. And the industry is going to test you, business is going to test you, people are going to test you. But if you expect the worst, you're going to attract it. So believe that there's always a way through every problem, and then back that up with smart action based on a plan. So this brings up another quick point. If you have a cannabis brand, click the link below for a one-on-one call with me to see how that would work for your specific situation. And follow my Instagram to see how a real brand owner lives. And click below for the free community for school and Telegram. Okay, number 5, mental fortitude. Every industry, every business will shake out the weakest people. And that's gonna leave the richer, and the poorer even poorer. And in our industry, look at what the THCA bans are doing. They're hitting hard right now. People don't know what to expect. Markets are changing fast. And again, like I said, don't allow these external circumstances to affect you mentally or hold you back. You can't fold just because one plan went sideways. So mental strength means adapting, pivoting, and pushing, even when it feels like the opposite is happening. Next one, number 6. You know less than what you think. So always be willing to learn. Not just in cannabis, but in life in general, in business in general, and especially in cannabis because it's always changing constantly. If you can't say, I don't know, and ask for help, then you're setting yourself up to fail. Your success isn't about being a genius or a know-it-all. It's about being a sponge. So surround yourself with people that are better than you. And nobody wants to partner or work with someone who thinks they've already got it all figured out or that they're better than other people anyway. Stay humble. Even when you've made it, stay humble and let the results speak for you. Number 7, avoid negative competition. Forget trying to outdo the next brand by copying them. You can either work together, especially in newer industries like cannabis, there's a lot of room for quality collaborations. But when you're competing, it just distracts you from building your own lane. So instead of hating on people, make friends, especially make friends with important people and build with them, not against them, not trying to tear them down, which in turn is going to tear you down. And always remember, your network will make you or break you. We've always heard your network's your net worth. So as you go down this journey, remember, your packaging won't save you, your logo won't save you, your strain names won't save you. You build the brand from the inside out. It's all about your skills, your adaptability, and your network. Start by building those, and people will follow visionaries and founders, not labels, logos, and strain names. So join my free community and network, follow my Instagram, learn more about how to live like a real brand owner. I also give good information on Telegram. I have our community on School, and I send real in-depth game out in our newsletter to our email list. So click the links below, get involved, tap in. Your brand deserves the right skill sets from the right people.